Okay, Assalamualaikum. So hari ni kelas kita pada hari ni kita akan buat group presentation lah yang kita dah bahagi ikut kumpulan hari tu. So topik trigo. Jadi kalau ikutkan kita dah belajar trigonometry hampir kesemualah yang cover 6.1, 6.2, 6.3 and 6.4. So Miss ada assign pada awak beberapa bahagian untuk trigonometric yang kita boleh kaitkan dengan real life situation. Okay, so tanpa membuang masa, kita terus kepada pembentangan kumpulan yang pertama. Okay, so dipersilakan.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to our respected lecturer, Ms. Amani. We are from Group 1 and we are going to present about our topic, which is trigonometry in video games.
Nowadays, kids and grown-ups love playing video games. To build that one game with all its user-generated level requires some serious skills. Every game designer needs to have grasp of game theory, a branch of applied mathematics. Aspiring video games programmers should also study trigonometry.
Trigonometry in video game is used for game programming, movement of object, and designing object, characters, and set. The functions of trigonometry are used to calculate angle of triangle with one corner of 90 degrees by converting the equation. It is also possible to calculate the side of triangle with one angle given.
Next, there are three basic trigonometry that we should know. First, sa. Second, cha. And third is tua. Sa is for sine. Sine is equal opposite per hypotenuse. Second is cha. C is for cosine. They equal to adjacent per hypotenuse. The last one is tua. Tangent equal to opposite per adjacent. Next, there are three examples that we should know. First, we can see that the boy is going up to the block. We can calculate the B that asking for it. We can find that there are two info. First, adjacent equal to 8 cm. Second, opposite equal to 6 cm. We must find the B, which is hypotenuse. This formula is concluded in h square equal to opposite square plus adjacent square. So, we can know that B square equal to 6 square plus 8 square. So, B square equal to 36 plus 64. B square equal to 100. B equal to 30 per 100. So, B equal to 10 cm. So, we can conclude that B hypotenuse equal to 10 cm.
Second, we need to solve for A in this triangle. We can see that the angle is already given, which is 30. A is for opposite and the hypotenuse is 4. Based on the information given, we can solve this triangle problem. We have to use sine formula, which is sine 30 degree is equal to A divided by 12. And the answer for A is 6 centimeter.
So to find this angle, we use saw, which is sine A is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So sine A is equal to C over 10. So sine A is equal to 3 over 5. So A equal to 36.87 degree. Extra tips here, in programming, we don't work with degrees, we work with radians. This is just another way to represent on angle. 36, 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi radians.
As a conclusion, trigonometry is used in every aspect of life, including development of video games. We also learned that the calculation for angle of triangle in the video games must be in radians. That's all from us, Group 1. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Thank you.
Okey, so terima kasih kepada kumpulan pertama, pembentangan yang sangat menarik, pandai dikaitkan dengan real life situation. Jadi sebenarnya trigonometry ni bukan saja kita belajar tentang nak mengira semata-mata. Kita boleh juga kaitkan dia dengan real life situation. Macam contoh, kita nak ukur kestabilan bagi satu tangga untuk berdiri, untuk bersandar pada dinding. So tu kita boleh apply juga trigonometry. Alright. Okay. So kita teruskan dengan kumpulan yang kedua. Okay, dipersilakan.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. Today I want to present for my mathematics assignment. Before that, my name is Nasr Izayani binti Ilyas. I'm from DFT04. My group choose topic trigonometry in construction. Okay, next I will pass to Putri to explain about trigonometry in construction.
Trigonometry in construction. In construction, constructors build a variety of things from houses to freeways. They usually work with carpenters, roofers, and electricians when working on a project. Construction workers utilize trigonometry extensively in order to calculate the best way to build stable and safe project. There are a lot of examples for trigonometry in construction, but the example we take is foundation for houses, calculating bridge length, determining roof structures, and wheelchair ramps.
Okay, I will be explaining on how trigonometry will be used in foundation of the house. When construction workers lay the foundation for a house, they rely heavily on the trigonometry to make sure that the foundation is level and stable. Okay, it means that to calculate the height of foundation, trigonometry method will be applied in this, in order to make sure that house is stable. Okay, the ground, most probably the ground is usually sloped and uneven, so the contractor must use trigonometry to determine the angle and volumes needed to cut and fill areas of the ground in order to make it level. Also, if this method is not applied, it will make the house is crack and collapse. Okay, last, things get even more complicated if the house required an irregular foundation to accommodate
curve, hallways, or walls. It means that if the irregular foundation is very hard to apply the trigonometry formula.
Next, trigonometry in construction is also applied in calculating bridge length. So, in a construction project, trigonometry is essential for determining just how long a bridge needs to be. A contractor might use right angle properties and tangents to determine how wide a river is, which is also directly determines length of the bridge. As you can see at the figures, in calculating bridge length, constructor have to use three right triangles formula, which is Sauchatua, to find x. X is the length of the bridge. For an example, if the constructor standing on the river's edge 10 feet away from where the bridge will be, then all he needs is to measure the angle from where he's standing to where the bridge will stop on the other side of the river. So, he can then use the properties of a right triangle to calculate the rest.
Okay, now I want to explain about one of example of application in construction. That is determining roof structure. Carpenter using trigonometry to determine the angle of trusses, which provide support for holding up roof and the length of the rafter in the roof. For example, in a triangular shaped roof, if you already know the length of the rafter, we know the length of the rafter and the horizontal length of the roof. Okay, we can use the law of cosine and to determine the angle of trusses. Okay, at the middle, the angle of trusses should be cut for the maximum support. Okay, if you know the height of the roof and its horizontal length, we also can use trigonometry to determine how long the rafter should be. You can see this diagram have hypotenuse, total rise, pitch, run, and total span. I already put in the infographic. We have two triangles that I put. First triangle. First of all, we want to find the length of the rafter. First, we can use Pythagoras theorem. Second, we can use Sauchatua. But for this formula, we want to find the length of the rafter, so we use TOA, tangent, opposite over adjacent. Okay, we can see this. The first triangle, we have rise, run, and pitch, and the second triangle, okay, I will explain later. Okay, length of rafter, we use Pythagoras theorem. Okay, suppose a roof have a rise of 1.5 feet and run the horizontal line 50 feet. Okay, how long the rafter? Okay, we use the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, the length of the rafter, third, 1.5 square plus 50 square, and we press the calculator, we got 50.075. Okay, next, I will explain about TOA. Okay, TOA is tangent theta, opposite over adjacent. Okay, we know rise is the opposite and run is the adjacent. We know P is the opposite and 1 is the adjacent. Okay, and pitch equal to P over 1. Okay, that's all for me. Okay, I will pass to Hafizuddin for the next example.
Okay, another example of trigonometry's use in construction is in the building of wheelchair ramps. So, we must know that the ramp must be carefully designed and laws dictate a ramp's minimum width and maximum slope. One of the specs for the ramp is incline rises for the ramp should be reduced to make it more safe. So, the application of trigonometry in the ramp's construction is height, length, and angle of the ramps can be calculated using trigonometry. For example, if a ramp has to be at an angle of 8 degrees for maximum safety and the height is 0.5 meters, so we can calculate the necessary or maximum length for the ramp using a simple tangent ratio. For this case, we draw the triangle and label it first, then formula for tangent is opposite over adjacent. So just insert the information that we have. The equation will be tangent 8 is equal to 0.5 over the length that we want to find. So it will be length equals to 0.5 over tangent 8. So we just solve the equation and we will get the necessary or maximum length for the ramp is about 3.56 meters, and that's it how Trigo include in building the wheelchair ramp. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Okey, so terima kasih kumpulan kedua. Ada soalan tak nak tanya? Okey, so tak ada. Jadi ini pun bagus, menarik. Dia punya presentation dia bagus. Jadi kalau ada apa-apa soalan yang malu nak tanya, boleh kita tanya kemudian lah. Okey. So pandai grup ni dia cuba kaitkan dengan trigonometric formula. Dia cuba selesaikan persamaan dan cuba kaitkan dengan real life situation. Very good. Okay. Alright. Jadi kita teruskan dengan kumpulan yang ketiga. Okay. Dipersilakan.
Hello and Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Nur Fadila binti Abdul Rahim and I'm from the FP04. Okay, today, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hi everyone. My name is Nur Fadila binti Abdul Rahim. Okay, I'm a leader of this group and I will pass to my teammate to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Nur Adila Fazira binti Muhammad Fauzi.
My name is Nolisa Alia binti Wajabi'i.
My name is Muhammad Nabi bin Sarizan.
Okay, today we are going to present about our assessment named Lifelong Learning. Topic of our assessment is trigonometry in constructions. First at all, what is trigonometry? Trigonometry is a study of the relationship of angle, leg, and head.
Trigonometry may have no direct application in practical problem solving. In construction, trigonometry helps to know the length and width of a construction, and it is used in various things around us. Means engineers and architects need to know at least the basic of trigonometry to form a construction.
So we go to calculation angle in 3D. Okay, so to build houses, there will be needed trigonometry calculation needed, which is we calculate the length of the rafters in the roof are determined by using trigonometry. So for example, we need to find the length of BC, which is BC is opposite, and the angle given is 17.5 degree, and the adjacent is 6.235 meter. So we need to use TOA formula, which is TOA opposite over adjacent. So we just substitute the value. Tangent 17.5 degree equal to BC is opposite, 6.235 is adjacent. So we calculate, then we get BC is 1.966 meter. Okay, that one for house. Okay, for calculate the length of the bridge is also determined by the depth of the sea with the surface of the bridge by using the trigonometry. Okay, this one is given to part A and B. Okay, we take the B part. So we need to find the H value, which is H is opposite and the angle given is 41 degree and the adjacent is 140 minus x. So for this one, we use the TWA formula also. So we substitute the value, which is tangent 41 degree over H over 140 minus x. Okay, for this one, we need to find the value of x first. So we can get the H value. Okay.
Lastly, for the conclusion, the usage of trigonometry method in construction can give more advantages for the architects. For example, if we can see in the example of calculating the length of bridge, if the architect standing on the river 10 feet away from the where the bridge will be, then all he needs is to measure the angle from where he is standing to where the bridge will stop on the other side of the river. He can use the properties of a right triangle to measure the rest. In other words, the percentage of accidents can be reduced. Next, trigonometry method can also help the architects to determine the angles and volumes needed to cut and fill areas of the ground accurately. This can make the construction process more efficient and fast.
That's all from our group about trigonometry in concentration. Thank you.
Okey, baiklah. So, terima kasih kumpulan yang ketiga. Jadi, juga pembentangan yang baik. Boleh teruskan dengan subtopik. Boleh tengok pada dia kaitkan dengan identities. So, yang ada 3 formula identities yang digunakan. Jadi semua formula tu kena hafal dan pandai kumpulan yang ketiga ni kaitkan dengan identities formula. Alright. Okay. So teruskan dengan kumpulan keempat. Jom. Silakan.
Hi, I'm Alfredo Hezron from Group 4. Today, my teammate and I are going to explain how trigonometry can be used in measuring the height of a building or mountains. First of all, we need to know what is the trigonometry formula. Okay, so from the slide we can see we have 3 formula for trigonometry. The first one is sine theta equals to opposite divided by hypotenuse. Next formula is cos theta equals to adjacent divided by hypotenuse. And the third formula is tangent theta equals to opposite divided by adjacent. We also call it as so, cha, toa for easy to remember. So this is the trigonometry formula that we can apply on measuring the height of a building or mountains. Now I will pass the rest to my teammates.
So now we will proceed to the concept of measure the height of the building. Before we continue, my name is Nuruna Demiti Sharizal. Okay, look at the slide. As you can see, we got the Eiffel Tower and the angle here. So the distance of a building as the adjacent from the viewpoint and the elevation angle as the measuring angle. So the opposite, which was the height of the Eiffel Tower, can be determined.
Hi, I'm Janatul.
So I'm going to explain the example of how trigonometry works to measure height of the building. Okay, so look at the infographic. There is a person stands walk away from the building which is 50 feet away, which act as adjacent. Determine the tall of the person, let's say 5 feet. Use clinometer made from a simple protractor to measure the angle. From the person eye to the top of the building, the angle shows 30 degrees. This is the angle of elevation. Then we can calculate the height which act as opposite using the suitable trigonometry formula. After getting the opposite value, then we just plus with the person height to determine the whole height of the building. So I'm call my teammate to continue.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Nur Syafiqah binti Sharum. I am from Group 4. Here in my part, I am going to explain about the concept of measure the height of the mountain. Here we have the diagram that shows how we can apply the trigonometry method into our life. Here, firstly, to calculate the elevation of a mountain, imagine the distance between 2 points on the ground as the adjacent, as we can see in the diagram, and the opposite as the height that we wanted to measure. Then, the angle between the top of the mountain and each point.
Okay, after we know the concept of how to measure the height of the mountain, now we can solve the example. The example says that the height of the mountain acts as the opposite of the angle of 60 degree, while the distance at the ground acts as the adjacent. Okay, from here we can use the formula tangent theta equals to opposite divided by adjacent. Tan 60 equals to opposite divided by 100. So the opposite, which is the height of the mountain, we get is 173.21 meter. 173.21 meter. Okay, that's all for the example.
Here in the infographic, let's look at the situation in real life that we can apply trigonometry method into our life. For example, Ali is at the Eiffel Tower. He wanted to know how high the tower, so he determined the distance of a building as the adjacent. From the viewpoint and the elevation angle as measuring angle. So the opposite, which was the height of the Eiffel Tower, can be determined by Ali. Next, the situation on the mountain. A mountain climber wanted to know how high is the mountain. He can use the trigonometry method to know the height of the mountain by determining the distance between the starting ground and the top mountain as the hypotenuse.
So for the conclusion, trigonometry is very important in everyday life. In existence of trigonometry, it is easier to measure tall objects such as building and mountain in the correct way by just using its formula method. That's all from us. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Okey, baiklah. So itu adalah pembentang yang keempat. Jadi yang mana ini adalah pembentangan yang terakhir lah. So tahniah untuk semua kumpulan. Boleh pun cuba awak kaitkan trigonometry ni dengan real life situation ataupun real life environment lah. So sebenarnya trigonometry ni dekat metrik ni kita cuma belajar base je. Tapi sebenarnya kita boleh apply dalam kehidupan yang sebenar, dalam engineering, dalam medical, banyak benda, dalam crime scene, itu pun boleh kita apply trigonometry formula, tapi bukan secara direct lah. So kita kena tengok situation dia juga. Alright. So itu sahaja untuk hari ini. So very good. Tahniah atas effort semua. Kita akan jumpa pada next class. Next class get ready dengan next topic. Okay. So thank you. Assalamualaikum.